Hello everyone, I'm Jonas.
And I'm Lewis.
And welcome to JL Pokémon.
And welcome back to another episode of JL Pokemon's
Cards of the Week.
Cards of the Week. We have some pretty awesome Pokemon picked out for you guys. And I have the one and only Crobat. I have Crobat V here. And I have the one from Shining Fates and the one from Darkness Ablaze. Very awesome. I'm very excited to talk about this Pokemon. It has been used pretty frequently in a lot of different formats, so I'm really excited to talk about this one. And what do you have?
I have Dedenne. I have the promo, and the regular. We have
pretty nice selection.
Dedennes.
All right, let's get right into the explanations for these cards. I'll catch you guys in a second. All right, guys, welcome back. Time to start with my card, Crobat. Now, Crobat is actually extremely awesome. One of my favorite Generation 2 Pokemon, behind Feraligatr, of course. And speaking of Generation 2, it made its debut in the one and only Neo Revelation. Once again, we will have a picture supplied for you right here with that Neo Revelation Crobat. And a fun fact about poison types back then. Poison types were actually known as grass types. So if you see right here, it will have a nice green Crobat over here. And that's just really interesting in my opinion. Just a green doesn't really fit with poison type Pokemon in my opinion. So that's just super cool.
Sorta.
Well, kinda. After that, we got, obviously, Crobat changed to a psychic type card because Crobat is poison type. So you got the psychic type version of Crobat after a while.
Then we got dark type.
Then in Sword and Shield they changed poison types again to the darkness type, which is very, very, very interesting.
I mean, it kind of makes more sense why it'd be psychic and not dark type.
So how about we talk about this really cool Crobat that is just really interesting from the Diamond and Pearl from the Diamond and Pearl era. It is a Crobat G, which means that Crobat was owned by Team Galactic, which is just a super cool gimmick back then. You had SP Pokemon, and they were just super cool. And we have, I don't have it in real life, sadly, so we will have a picture supplied right here where you can take a look at it. And also, SP Pokemon were all basic Pokemon, so which means you could play Crobat right onto the bench, very similar to V's and GX's right now. So Crobat G said, very similar to Galarian Zigzagoon, when you put this card from your hand onto your bench, you may put one damage counter on one of your opponent's Pokemon. Which I noticed that it saw a lot of play back in the Diamond and Pearl era, which was super cool. It was seen in a lot of different decks with Scoop Up Cyclone, which you will see, I hope, maybe right here, where you can pick up a Team Galactic Pokemon and put it right into your hand, which was super useful so you could spread around damage. And back then, 10 damage was a lot more than it is today. So spreading 10 damage could literally cost you the game, or it could win you the game, which was super awesome and super amazing in my opinion. That was just a super cool way for you to spread damage around to your opponent, which is pretty cool actually. So now, the next Crobat that I want to talk about is the Crobat from Phantom Forces. Now, on the topic of Galarian Zigzagoon, we have Galarian Obstagoon, right? Now, you might be asking, what is so similar about Obstagoon and the Phantom Forces Crobat? Well, similar to Galarian Zigzagoon, they have the exact same ability. When you evolve this Pokemon, once your turn, when you evolve this Pokemon from your hand to one of your Pokemon, you may put 3 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. And that was seen in quite a lot of decks, notably Seismitoad and Mega Manectric EX, which was super cool, and I'm glad to see Crobat has been getting a lot of love throughout the ages. It's just super cool and awesome about that. So you could just spread damage around, like I said, but it was 3 instead of that 1 in the Crobat G back in Diamond and Pearl. And also, the Zubat and the Golbat were similar to the Lanoon and the Zigzagoon, where you could put 1 and 2 damage counters, which was super awesome. Now, let's talk about the card I actually have in real life, Crobat V. Now, Crobat V, when it was first announced, everyone was like, no way, it's a new Shaman. This is super awesome. Shaman EX. It's almost a better Shaman EX. It has more HP, it has a better attack, but sadly, the ability is where it falls off. I mean, it does the same thing, but you can only use Dark Asset once per turn. So if you have 2 Crobat in your hand, sorry, but you're not getting fresh cards until the next turn, which is pretty sad, yeah. But that doesn't stop it from being played in almost every single deck right now.
Almost.
I picked Crobat along with Dedenne because they're very similar cards with very similar abilities. But I just thought Crobat was a cooler Pokemon, so I'd rather pick Crobat over Dedenne, which is super cool. Crobat V has 180 HP, a weakness, 2 fighting, and a single colorless retreat cost. And obviously it is a Pokemon V, so you do take 2 prizes when it is knocked out. Also, in the newest set, Shining Fates, we got Crobat V Max, which was super cool, and I'm glad we finally got an evolution for Crobat V, so you could use Crobat V to set up and then evolve into Crobat V Max. And very similar to Crobat V's attack, it has an attack for a darkness and a colorless, which does 70 and poisons, except you can bring Crobat V Max to the bench. I've seen decks where you wall with Altaria and stuff like that, which is super cool, so you can get poison damage off, build it up with Toxicroak, and it's just super cool. It also has another attack for a darkness, and a colorless, where you can do 180 damage, which is super cool and super awesome. So that's pretty much it for Crobat. We haven't seen very many Crobats, but the ones that we have seen have been notable and super awesome. So let's get into Jonas's Dedenne cards. I'll catch you guys in a second.
Alright guys, let's talk about Dedenne and why I chose it for this week's card of the week. So Dedenne is really good. Came out in Furious Fists, then Phantom Forces.
Yes.
Then Breakthrough.
Yes.
Oh, then Generations.
Yes.
Then Forbidden Light.
Forbidden Light.
Yes. Lost Thunder.
Yep.
Lost Thunder.
Lost Thunder again.
Broken Bonds.
Yep.
Unified Minds.
Yep.
Darkness Ablaze.
Yes.
Vivid Voltage.
Yes.
Shining Fates.
Yeah.
And the Trainer's Toolkit.
There, that is every single Dedenne that has ever come out. I even got Jonas to memorize all of them just for this video because I thought that'd be funny.
It is. So the first playable Dedenne came out in, of course, Unbroken Bonds.
And before that,
every single one
they were all
was absolutely garbage.
Absolutely horrible. You had the scattered Nuzzle Dedenne, which could get like paralysis. That's flip a coin, paralysis, 1 energy. Yeah,
honestly, most playable card I've ever seen.
I'll be honest though, if Dedenne wasn't released in Unbroken Bonds with the super awesome ability, I don't think Dedenne would ever be played. It's honestly, the Dedennes before this were horrible. Alright, let's get right into the best Dedenne that has ever been released. Dedenne GX.
What about Mad Party?
From Unbroken Bonds. Let's get into that later. We'll talk about the Mad Party Dedenne later.
Alright.
Dedenne Change is the ability on Dedenne GX, which says, once your turn, when you put this card from your hand onto your bench, you may discard your hand and draw 6 cards.
That's crazy.
Now, you might be thinking, well, now we got Professor's Research, so why would I want to run Dedenne? I'll tell you why. Because it's a Pokemon. So you could play Dedenne and you could play Supporter the same turn. Imagine how many cards you're burning through in one turn to find the cards you need to get set up to do whatever you want. Very similar to Crobat, like I was talking about, but I think Dedenne is the better ability because you are getting tons more cards. You're getting way more cards with Dedenne than you are with Crobat.
Now, sometimes when I'm facing Lewis, I don't have Dedenne in my deck, but anyway, sometimes when I'm facing Lewis with Crobat, I always try to thin my hand first. Like, say I had Quick Ball, Glaring Wheezing, I'm not saying this is real, but Glaring Wheezing, Zigzagoon, and Eternatus V in my hand. And I need to get rid of all of those cards. I would just and then just use Crobat and get fresh new 6.
You can even do this with Dedenne, honestly. If you
but why would you want to get rid of those cards? Those are good cards.
Yeah, but you can thin your hand anyways. You're discarding it with Dedenne. But still, I'd rather thin my hand first so you can get as many new cards as possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Dedenne GX has an HP of 160. It's a basic Pokemon. It has a weakness to fighting, but everything in this format has a weakness to
Pretty
fighting
much.
right now. So you're basically...
Not everything.
But we are getting Urshifu VMAX in the one and only Battle Style set, which I'm super hyped for. We're hoping we're going to get some hands on some of those, which is... I'm so hyped for it. We got new cards coming in. This set is going to be an absolute game changer, so I'm really excited for that. But it is bringing a heap of fighting Pokemon into the format, which means Eternatus will suck even more, and Dedenne will suck even more, and Crobat will suck even more. Everything is just going to be horrible. It also has a resistance to metal. Now, the resistance doesn't really matter because Zacian V,
or
Zacian, doesn't matter how you pronounce it, is still hitting 210 damage with Brave Blade, so you're getting knocked out anyways. It has a retreat cost of 1 colorless energy, which is okay because you can get U-turn board and stuff on it, and you're getting free retreat with air balloon and stuff, so that's pretty awesome. That's pretty much it for Dedenne. You have the awesome ability.
What about its GX
Dedenne. Oh right, you have we didn't mention its attacks. You have for a lightning and a colorless, you have static shock 450, and for a lightning and a colorless, you have tingly return 450 again. But you can paralyze the opponent and put Dedenne into your hand to try to use Dedenne change next turn, which can buy you a turn actually, because the next turn your opponent's Pokemon probably won't be attacking because it is paralyzed. So that is, I've seen that been used like once or twice. It hasn't been used very much. Now let's talk about the next playable Dedenne. Mad Party Dedenne. It's actually not Dedenne is what's playable. It's actually the cards that you play with it, yeah.
Like Bunnelby,
Dedenne. Mad Party is very similar to a lot of similar decks that we've had before, such as what is it called? Night March and Lost March.
What are those?
Night March is you had cards like, I know you had a Lampent and Joltik and a bunch of other cards that I'm after forgetting the names of now that you ran with Battle Compressor in Phantom Forces. Speaking of Phantom Forces, you had Dedenne in Phantom Forces, so that's a little...
Like I said.
I don't know if that's like a little sneak peek or something, or a little hint to the old set about Dedenne and stuff and how Dedenne got the Mad Party attack. But, you know, you never know. It could be interesting that Pokemon thought of that when they were making Mad Party on Dedenne, which was pretty cool. And Lost March was alright, came out in Lost Thunder. A lot of cards in Lost Thunder came out with that Lost March attack. Notably, you had Jumpluff and Zanatu, which was the two most notable cards with Lost March. It's a nice bit of play. It was pretty powerful, actually. There was a lot of cards to go along with it for you to get cards into your Lost Zone, but it didn't really see as much play as Night March, or even Mad Party, for that fact. So that is pretty interesting. Mad Party, you run it with Poltegeist and what else? Bunnelby and a bunch of other cards that have the Mad Party attack. Galarian Mr. Rhyme.
Yeah, no, I think it's Galarian Mr. Rhyme.
That's what I said.
Isn't it Mr. Mime?
And also you run it with Roxy to discard cards and draw more cards. So you could discard your Pokemon with Roxy to draw more cards. So that's just quite an interesting deck in my opinion, and deserves a lot more love than it's getting right now, because it's pretty okay. But I've played against it a couple times and I've won almost every time. But you know, that's alright, because Mad Party is still a very interesting deck, and I'm expecting it to see a lot more play eventually, because it's just super cool and awesome. So that's pretty much it for Dedenne. What do you think of Dedenne?
The GX attack is okay. The ability is amazing.
That's why you play it.
And, of course, Mad Party, amazing.
How about we get right into the outro of this video? Catch you guys in a quick sec. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We 100% enjoyed making it, so we hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Ring that bell. Ding-a-lang-a-lang-a-ling-a.
Ring the bell. Ding dong ding ding
Ding,
ding
ding,
dong
dong,
dong
ding,
ding ding
ding,
ding.
ding.
Make sure to ring the bell to get notified when new uploads come up. Also, make sure to follow our Twitter at
JL
PKMN for updates about the channel when new videos are being dropped, and for just stuff we're doing around the for stuff we're just doing around the house. You can also catch little sneak peeks of when videos are going to come out. You're probably going to get a post about this video, so make sure to follow our Twitter at JL_PKMN for that kind of stuff like that. Also, make sure to stay tuned for this weekend's video. We have an awesome video planned for you guys, and we hope you guys like it because we got some pretty awesome things out of it. No, it was pretty awesome actually. Yep. So I hope you guys check that out when that video comes out. And obviously, with our Twitter, you'll get we'll post something on Twitter about that video pretty soon. So I hope you guys check that out. So that's pretty much it for this video. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.
Bye.